Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Chat, today I have a long awaited story time, and before I even get into the story time, I just want to give a small disclaimer and just say that this happened during a completely different time in my life, like a totally different chapter of my life. I am not the same person anymore. This was before I started back practicing Islam, and just gonna tell this story time just to get things off my chest. This story is about how I fell out with a friend of mine who I considered just a best friend. I consider this person to be my absolute best friend. I stayed at her house a lot. Yeah, like that was my bestie, y'all. Like, we were best friends. And before anybody asks, I'm not telling y'all this story because I want to be her friend again. That's not the case. This is not me trying to rekindle anything. This is just me telling my story. So boom, me and this girl, we were really close, and I got like my little my notes right here, so I'm trying to read a little bit. Not gonna lie, these are my notes. But me and this girl, we were super close. We were best friends for probably almost, I'll say, 3 years, maybe, on and off. We would do pretty much everything together, but this one incident happened December 2025, like Christmas Eve maybe. So let's call her Amber for this story. So Amber and I was at her house. We were chilling, we were drinking on some Cutwaters maybe, and then we decided to go cop. If you know, you know. Well, she decided to go cop some gas, so we pulled up to the person's house or whatever, and she copped, and in the midst of that, I'm tipsy. It's Christmas Eve, so I'm asking the guy, I'm like, are you feeling jolly? It's Christmas, give me some, it's Christmas Eve, bless me. So he was, joking, saying nah, da da da. But before we pulled off, he did reach into his bag, his Ziploc bag, and give me like a lot, which I then took it. I put it in I had a backwood pack, but it was empty, or maybe it had, I don't know, some leftover gas or whatever. But I put the gas in there that he gave me. We pulled off, nothing was said. We arrived back to her house, and after we got to her house, we were talking and drinking more. She ended up going to the restroom. So Amber went to the restroom. I'm still in the car doing my thing, sipping my drink. When she comes back, at this point, I gotta pee at this point. So I went to the bathroom. Mind you, my purse and stuff is still in the vehicle, in her vehicle. We at her house in her driveway. So after I come back out of the restroom, everything's fine, dandy. We still talking, we still mingling. All right, boom. I end up going home. Fast forward to the next day, I go to check my purse to get my stuff, and I noticed like a lot of it is missing. So I hit her up. I'm like, Best, did you take some of my gas that was in my purse that he gave me, put in my hand or whatever? And she was like, yeah, I did, because they gotta last me. And I'm just confused. I'm like, what do you mean it has to last you? He gave that to me. And then she went on to say that, oh, that gas isn't free. That wasn't free. I had to pay for that. And I was just so confused, because I'm like, none of this was said the night prior, the night before. Like, you didn't say that until just now when I confronted you about my stuff being taken. And then she said that I dropped it in the stairwell at her house. But how is that so if you went to the restroom before me, and my pack never left my purse? Nothing fell out of my pocket because nothing was in my pocket when I went upstairs. And she was saying that, I'm like, you went from you needed this to, I mean, you went from I need this, it's gotta last me, to nah, you stole from me because I found it in the stairwell, but it never left my purse, which was weird to me. How she just kept, how that was her story. And you know, you have three sides to every story. You got their part, your part, and the truth. But I'm just like, come on, if we both claim to be real, let's be real and have a sit down and talk about this. And what really hurt me the most was she started bringing up receipts of how much gas I would bring to her house, which I thought was very weird, because who keeps tabs on stuff like that? Duh, I'm gonna only bring enough for me. I'm not gonna bring a whole half to your house just for us to, not even heaven, just for us two. Like, I'm gonna bring enough for me. And you felt away, you should have said something then, not wait until we're at odds to bring it up in such nasty way. You know what I mean? I just don't like that whole, when we fall out with friends, they have to bring up stuff from the past, or just stuff you felt like didn't bother them until now. And it's like, her story made no sense, because as I said before, y'all, my bag never left her car. So how in the world did I end up dropping something? And then she changed her story so many times, it just made absolutely no sense to me. And then, where was it? Yeah, like I even got screenshots of where the conversation had ended up getting real ugly, because I was trying to reflect, do a little accountability. I sound like Dolly from Baddies. Take accountability, and she starts telling me that I'm selfish, saying that she's always shared with me, and basically that nobody was going to give me anything free if I wasn't buying it, and that I need to take accountability. And I'm just like, accountability for what? Because if I did something wrong, tell me what I did specifically. Don't just call me selfish and tell me I'm the problem. Like, that really bothered me. Just the way she handled everything. And people claim to be mature and be so real and all of that, but we had just had a conversation about communication and accountability in our friendship, and we agree on a lot of things. And people think just because they are depressed or going through certain things that they get to treat people any kind of way. But just imagine being friends with somebody, best friends at that, and having conversations about how y'all need to communicate better, and then the moment I tell you that, you make me feel uncomfortable, or just instead of my best friend hearing me out, you make me feel less than, and now somehow I'm the villain. And that really pissed me off, because I'm like, girl, we're supposed to be locked in, we're supposed to be friends. If I did something wrong, tell me then. You know, if you felt like I wasn't bringing you enough gas, or bringing enough gas for the two of us, tell me then. You know, if you felt like I owed you something, tell me then. Don't wait until we in a heated argument. Like, I don't know, but I shared with her too, never came to the girl's house empty-handed, and I was trying to explain that in the messages, and I'll probably put them up here somewhere, like next to me or something. But I basically told her, like, how did I steal from you? He put that in my hand, and now she's trying to make it seem like I came into your house plotting to steal from you. Girl, boo, we been friends for how long? I ain't never stolen my lip gloss from and let alone some gas. Like, be for real. That's just what kept bothering me. Like, we both know the real, but you in real life just paint this picture in your head that I genuinely took something from you. I don't know. And then we having this conversation about it afterwards, instead of addressing it with me as soon as you notice. Like, that's how I knew it. Like, and she just kept saying, take accountability. I'm like, for what? What exactly did I do to you? You telling me that I'm selfish, but it's like, and saying I'm weird and I'm the problem, but she won't tell me what I did to her. And then I just realized we were going in circles when we were arguing, so, or at least trying to get clear understanding. But I just looked at it as that'll probably never happen. You know, she just ended the conversation with, "I don't want to deal with nobody selfish like you," which made no sense. You know, you want me to accept that I'm wrong, apologize to you, take out her blame, and I'm just not doing it. You know, I did respond again, and like I said, I'll put the screenshots up, but I blocked her eventually, and that was that. I'm just over it, y'all. I want more intentional friendships. Looking back at it now, though, I do look at the situation. I do look at the situation a little differently, but not really. You know, that was me before I started back practicing Islam again, and I was living a totally different life. You know, I was drinking and smoking a lot, but I think I've grown a lot since then. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that version of me just never existed. You know, I can acknowledge who I was, and I can acknowledge the bad habits that I had. And, you know, that stuff happened. I got my lessons from it. I took what I needed from it, and I'm ready to move forward. And the biggest lesson that I took from that friendship was sometimes closure isn't just getting the other party to admit when they're wrong. It's just realizing that y'all don't really see eye to eye, or y'all don't see the same situation the same, and that's okay. The friendship has just simply run its course. No, I don't miss her. No, I don't want to be friends again, and I genuinely wish her the best. But that ship has sailed. That chapter in my life has closed, and I am honestly okay with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little story time. I do plan to get you guys more content. Today's Monday. This video will be out on Monday. And I do plan to just keep giving y'all more content. Now I'm just rambling. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. Stay tuned for more. And yeah, assalamu alaikum.